So today what I want to do is show you how to export your piskel. We're not only going to export it, but we're also going to create a different version of it that's an MP4. So as you've been working in piskel, everything looks really big, but the actual size of your final animation might surprise you. To show you how small that little animation actually is, I'm going to go to the export button and I'm going to click on upload. This is not something you have to do. I'm doing this just so you see how tiny this little animation really is. So I'm going to click upload, and when I do that, I get a little website link that allows me to view my animation at its true size in a web browser window. So I'm going to click, and yeah, that's it. That tiny little square right there, that's as big as this animation is. But what's nice in Piskel is that we can scale it up. So it still has that blocky 8-bit look, but now we can show it much larger. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to close this window. And here, and I'm just going to toggle it from scratch again so you remember what that button looks like, the export button. At the top here, we can change the scale. Right now, we know that actual size or one-time scale is absolutely minuscule. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag, and as we click and drag, the scale value changes, but so does the resolution. So what I'd like you to do is click and drag and scale it up until we see a nice big number like 800 in one or both of these fields. If it's a square, it's going to be 800 by 800, but as long as one of the dimensions is 800, that should be good. Notice also you have the option to enable or disable loop repeatedly, and I'm going to ask you to make sure that loop repeatedly is enabled. And now we'll click the download button, and it's going to download as an animated GIF. So I'm going to click download, and once it's finished creating the animated GIF, it's going to ask you if you want to save the file, and you certainly do. We're going to click OK. That file is probably saved in our downloads folder, so that's going to be our next stop. I'm going to close this browser window. I'll make sure that Finder is active, and I'm going to press Command N, and it's for new, to create a new Finder window. And from there I can locate my downloads folder. And usually I have the sorting option selected to date modified, which is really convenient because it will always show me the most current file at the very top of this list. So there's my animated GIF. I'm going to click and drag it out of downloads and into a folder I've called Piskel, which is right here, this huge window that I'm mostly using just to hide my desktop clutter. I want to preview this GIF before I continue, so I'm going to click once to select that GIF file and press my space bar. And that is the actual size of that GIF, and you can see clearly it's much, much larger than that original version. So that's why we want to apply scaling. There's going to be one more step I'm going to ask you to do before you hand in this project, because I'm asking you to hand in the animated GIF file, but I also want this GIF file converted to an MP4. And it's very simple to do. In the 13.1 folder, Saving Piskel and Converting to MP4, I've included a link to a free website that lets you convert almost anything into something else. So I'm going to double click the WebLock icon, and it should open up that website. And the name of the website is Cloud Convert, but right now it says Convert GIF to MP4 because those are the settings that I've selected. In order to convert a GIF to an MP4, I'm going to click Select Files. I'm going to go to my desktop where I have my Piskel folder and select my GIF file and click Open. All right, I'm going to confirm that it is indeed going to change it or convert it to an MP4. And click on the Start Conversion button. And you can see up here, we're seeing the status of the file as it's being converted. And we just wait patiently. When it's done, it'll let you know it's finished, and we can click the Download button. We're going to save the file, click OK. And we know that whenever we use that Save File option, it usually ends up in our Downloads folder. So I'm going to hide this window. I am going to click on Downloads, and there is my Piskel GIF that's been converted to an MP4. Now I still have my original GIF, which is good because I want you to submit both of these files to me. But first, let's file this away. I've got a folder called Piskel. You'll have a folder for this project. So now I have my GIF and I want to add my MP4. Of course, you are going to change the name, right, so that it's got your last name and first initial. And then we're going to make sure both of these files are working. So I'm going to click once on the MP4 file to select it and then press spacebar. And there it is. So now I have my animation two ways, once as an animated GIF and the other as an MP4. And that's it. Now you're ready to hand in your files.